Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We're going to taste through the October release wines, and should be a fun evening. We're going to just take hopefully 10 to 15 minutes to talk to you about them, but we want you to know that if you're interested in having your own virtual tasting, that's an option too. We hate not being able to do this one-on-one, but we are excited to be able to try something new too. So we'll kick it off with this fun group: Maria, Nicole, and Theron, Melissa, and Di, Jared and I. And we're going to start with the Marsanne. So it smells so amazing. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Loving it.
Marsanne's a fun grape. I'll tell you a little bit about the vineyard side. So we have three different Rhone whites, right? Viognier, Roussanne, and Marsanne. And Marsanne and Roussanne are ugly to grow, but they always show really nice. They're actually, like Ali always says, kind of a white wine for the red wine drinkers because their pHs are higher. They're more viscous, mouthfeel rich, compared to the Viognier is a little bit more aromatic and kind of more soft and sensitive, kind of like my personality at home. And also the other distinct difference in the vineyard is that so the Roussanne and the Marsanne, they'll caramelize on the sun side, and then on the back side of the cluster, so on the cluster I'm referring to, the back side, you'll actually turn it over and it'll be vibrant green. It's really odd. So it doesn't ripen. I would say it really doesn't ripen as even within the cluster, the chemistry of it. And it kind of makes it somewhat challenging on decision on when to pick it and stuff. But we kind of wait until the bricks are a little bit higher and the flavors are there, which it's not a great grape for identifying, when a picking time is because of flavors. But once it comes into the winery, it goes through fermentation, it really opens up and becomes just it's got good aromatics, a good mouthfeel and richness, and it's a lot of fun. So compared to Viognier, that's just always just a pretty elegant lady like my wife.
Oh, yeah, you're really sweet. He's been drinking for a while. Nicole, what would you pair this with?
So we were talking about this earlier, and I think this would pair really great with any kind of cheese board. This is a great cheese kind of wine. It's got really great bright acid right in the front, and it's got a lot of the tropical fruit kind of smells and flavors to it. Really like honeysuckle in the summer in California for sure. But each kind of cheese board, I also think a really nice like butter sauce on a scallop would come right for that.
Really?
Yeah.
She stole that from me.
Did she? What would you pair it with, Theron?
I would definitely do a scallop. I think it would be fantastic with that. Or even a cream pasta, I think there's nice acid in it that it would actually cut through some of that cream sauce in a pasta. I think would be fantastic.
Sounds fantastic. Yes, I think that'd be great.
For you, Melissa, what do you get out of it?
I get a lot of melon. It is very light. Definitely with like what I'm thinking right now is some goat cheese with peaches and kind of just, dabble a little bit of your goat cheese on your peach and just take a sip. That's all you need.
That sounds great. Yeah, or apricots or something. Yeah, I like that.
Yes.
That's a great idea.
I was thinking cheesecake.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be good too.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. Color's good, straw color.
I actually get a little bit of that kind of caramel, and I know it's probably the power of suggestion, but I've been around this a long time, and still that is so. When you hear something and then you're tasting the wine, then pretty soon it's hard to be able to separate that.
I think next time Nicole should be cooking us dinner.
I do too.
Ooh, cooking with Nicole, virtual tasting.
Zoom calls.
Let's do that.
Are with food.
I could do that.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. All of a sudden, people would be like, "I want to be on the Zoom call."
I think maybe
Every other night. We have to have practice. We have to warm up.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna move on to reds now, and
Carmenere.
Maria, you got to talk about the Marsanne, right? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Good.
You didn't let her answer. Yeah? Yeah, okay, good.
Sorry. I've been drinking, so if I push past it, just stop me.
What's the thing down the middle of the screen?
It's
Just so you can block me?
it's a line because of I spilled wine on my screen.
Oh.
So anyway, okay, the
So is that gonna cost me another
Carmenere,
computer?
the Carmenere. Tell us a little bit about this.
So Carmenere, the 6th Bordeaux varietal. This year is a little different. It's not a lot of the the black pepper intensity. It's a little bit more rounder, and it's not as one dimensional, which I kind of like. But it's got some. It still has that caramelized and dark stone fruit or dark fruit cherry, and I like.
Oh, sorry, babe. You want to keep going?
No, I don't know. You ruined it all. Next.
Die.
I get a lot of vanilla out of this one. And this on the nose, I mean, I still get the pepper, but it's not as intense as some of the past, that we've had.
Past is really intense.
2017 was the climate was a little mellower, had a little. Wasn't as,
After this lays down for a while too, it's just going to be phenomenal.
The color is beautiful.
Isn't that nice?
Yep.
After I lay down for a little while.
He's really nice too.
Last weekend, we kind of had a little sneak peek of this wine at my house because Jarrod did give me a bottle for my anniversary last year. So we had a couple people over and did a Carmenere of Alexandria Nepal vertical.
Oh.
I didn't get somebody. Did you get that?
It was Kyle from the office. He sadly drank the 14 before he remembered we were doing this. We did a nice smoked beef fillet with a chimichurri sauce, and the chimichurri really brought out the beautiful like green pepper flavors. This one to me has a very like roasted chili smell.
That's what I thought, right?
Yeah.
It was a wonderful night, I have to say. It goes great. We enjoyed I think the consensus was the 13 and the 17 were the favorites.
Awesome.
I think Colton's upset for not being invited back.
Colton can come back anytime. He is a wonderful house guest. He even made his bed.
He'll be living with you. He's working in Prosser now, so it's like gets up at 4. So
Yeah.
Oh, well, we just so happen to have finished our bedroom in the shop. He can come anytime he wants.
Maria, what do you think of this?
Very peppery. It's a good, very yummy. Can I say yummy?
Yummy is a great descriptor.
I would love this like the next day, like decanting it more. I decanted it a little this morning, but I think it's just going to open up even more.
Agreed.
Color is just breathtaking.
Yeah. It's kind of fun because it's usually when I open a bottle of Carmenere, I can, or when we're tasting through blendings or something, I know right off the bat, that's a Carmenere, because they're so distinct. But this one's, it's not they're just right in your face, pepper and black pepper, and so it's I kind of like it. It's interesting and kind of confused by it, but I'll have to go back and look at the blending notes and see if we, what else we put in it. It's the Carmenere is the 6th Bordeaux, besides Cab Franc, Malbec, Petit Verdot, Cab Merlot. So it's and we don't usually put a lot. Like we use this in our Destiny, which I think. Do you remember what vintage was the first year we started using that?
12, maybe.
I think you're right. And it what was that? And it was amazing the difference. And it only took, a little bit went a long ways. I think we had like 3 or 4%. And because when you went beyond that, it just started dominating the blends and stuff. And so, but this is I don't know if it's the age of the vines now, or if I need to go back and look at the tasting notes and stuff. So
Yeah, we were talking about how old are the vines.
A great grilled fillet or something would be amazing with this.
that goes well with anything.
True. I know this is a favorite. We have had a lot of people that we've reached out to because they've inquired about the Carmenere and cannot wait. And so they are definitely, I know, looking forward to it. So it's a good one. They'll be excited. They'll be happy.
That makes me happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually like to hide this one away. At least a couple of cases, I hide them away.
Yeah.
It goes fast.
Always bring one out for a special occasion, right?
In your garage.
If I had a garage. No, I think this one, I think it's a little more complex than the past. Definitely more balanced for sure.
Yeah, that's where we go back to that one-dimensional where it could, but it's not this year. It's really nice.
Well, the Carmenere, the Counoise, and the and like Grenache, those kind of lighter bodied wines in a cooler year, they able to really express those delicate nuances. I think I almost get like rose petal, and there's a lot going on there, but you still have acid.
Yeah, look.
Which is it's I feel like fun.
All right, what are we drinking?
We're moving on to Rockstar.
Rockstar, one of our own.
Ooh,
Rich?
yeah. Melissa, you want to kick this one off?
I love the bottle. This first time I've seen it.
Yeah, I think I had this earlier today.
So you're saying you're drinking on the job?
No, we were doing quality control.
Oh, there you go.
Mhm.
What do you
Ensuring
think?
that it was good, not flawed, which I never have.
This one has Rich
So this was
Johansson's
really light.
name on it. It's got to be good.
Yeah.
Oh,
This was, I think, Flat Sticks we did with up there with
Mhm.
them, and I can't remember. He had an amazing nose. I mean, an amazing palate. He was able to discern quite a bit of different profiles and stuff. It was really impressive, and so it's kind of fun to work with him and then Rich and John.
Is that Sam and Andy?
Yeah, those guys are amazing businessmen too. It's really kind of fun to see what they've done and how they've done it. It's just like everybody else. This kind of COVID is stuck in the desert. But boy, it's kind of neat to see people like that are just ambitious and hungry, and then just they put the time and the effort in and do a good job. And then it was fun to work with them on the wine too. So
Yeah.
did a good job. I think that's him calling.
Melissa, were you gonna say something?
yeah, this one I get a lot of like vanilla. So I think I'd mentioned earlier like flan, so custard.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's very, like you can taste like, it smells, I don't know, very light, almost kind of buttery.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this one, to me, it smelled like an old leather chair in like a cigar bar. Like a man sitting in a leather chair in a cigar bar, drinking this wine. It's just like the whole painted picture for me.
This one's ready right now to drink. I mean, I love this one right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love the label. I want to get Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi, if you're out there, call me.
Call me. Holla.
Or David Lee Roth. You still have it.
Maria, what do you think?
Well, I did candidate this when I got the wine today, and I think it's like opened up a lot. I would say it has a really like black pepper and then espresso. I feel a little like some espresso.
No coffee in it.
Like I would put like a nice like like an espresso cup, like a chocolate bar type on that.
Not
You're
like
the
a
sweets
Starbucks.
girl. You're like our sweet bearer.
You
You're
know,
the sweet bearer. Our meat
I would definitely agree. This would be like going to El Gaucho, sitting in their cigar bar, and
Yeah. Isn't that nice?
And that's been a long time since I've done that.
I know, too long. I feel like the Rockstar is a really great representation of 4-7 Hills and all the different varieties, and I like how each year it can be so totally different based on whoever's blending it. And so just for those of you who don't know, our whole Rockstar program is based on us kind of tipping our hat to the other industry giants out there who are making it happen, right? So we're here in the winery, we're doing our thing, and
When did we start that?
I think 2010, maybe 2009.
Oh, I think it was, wasn't it earlier? We did, the first one was the, shoot.
I think it was 09.
Or nine. Okay.
I remember, you know, it was interesting because we had a bottle shop owner, right? And then we had a restaurateur.
Mhm.
So
Basically, we were just saying,
on a
like,
wine writer was Coke Roth.
oh yeah, yeah.
And but the theory was that, you know, mainly that we're able to taste, you know, all through Washington, maybe Oregon, you know, that's about as far as at least my palate goes, and I'm tasting mainly to identify what, you know, how our vineyard's showing and how our wines are showing comparatively to the, you know, and maybe a little bit of California, but these guys are bringing in wines from all over the world, so their palates are so much more, you know, sophisticated, and tasted all these other old world, new world, and so it was fun to kind of get together, and they understood wine, but they had no idea on blending wine, and so that was kind of the fun part for me, at least, was bringing the components and watching them kind of dissect it and try to figure out, you know, why am I adding this, or should I add this, or, and then, you know, then the debates between them were, it was hilarious too, because you, different personalities, different egos and stuff were coming out, but so the rock star was mainly just like, you know, praising them as far as those guys really truly are the guys, the rock stars of the industry that taste wines beyond anything we'll ever have the opportunity to taste. So that's fun.
I think that we make the wines, or you guys make the wines that that you're really focused on showcasing the vineyard.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have to buy wines based on their customer profile, based on their menus, all that. So I think that they have a really complex job. So it's a nice way for us to say we appreciate all that you do behind the scenes.
Yeah, I always like walking in the bottle shop and you pour them something, and they're trying to think. You always, and they go, "Oh my God, I know exactly who would like this. I'll take a case of this."
Yeah.
But they know their clientele so well, and that's one of the things we always tell. Like, people ask, you know, about, you know, where's our wine or anything else, and they need to get a relationship with, you know, with someone that actually,
the grocery store, someone
that can, because then they can get to know their palate. So then when they're tasting, they're thinking of that person when they're buying too. So it's kind of cool to see. I couldn't remember all that.
Okay, let's move on. Counoise, you want to kick us off?
Did we just freeze?
Di, are you there?
She's sleeping.
No. Did your computer freeze, Di?
Next.
How about you, Maria? You want to kick this one off?
So which one are we doing?
Counoise.
Okay.
I'll let Jarrod talk about it for a second.
Nope.
Dude, come on.
Oh, okay. So Counoise is a Rhone red varietal. We have 1.4 acres of it. It's right by the tiny houses, and we pick at two different picks because stuff right by the tiny houses gets a lot more water, and so we have to kind of. Hi, Di.
Hey, I finally got back on here. I was like, where is everybody?
So, but it's a really, the cluster size comparatively, I think we talked about this earlier, it's, comparatively like a Syrah or a Cab or Merlot, cluster size could be anywhere from 0.2 to 0.33, you know, a bigger Merlot of a pound. And then, but the cluster size of a Counoise can be, you know, 1 pound to 1.5 pounds. It's just crazy. And so when we go through and we're farming that, we drop down every cluster. We actually drop every shoot. We do 1 cluster per shoot, and we really limit it to almost like, you know, like 15 to 16 cluster per plant, because they're so big, and they can just, but they're big, broad shoulders. They're not like you know, some of the other ones are Mourvedre. That's a pretty big cluster as well, but it's just amazing how big they get. And they have a lot of it, you know, characteristics of spice and but they can make a great rosé, you know, out of them. And
where's it planted here?
Here, I said by the tiny house.
Oh, you did say that. Okay.
Yeah, you're not listening.
I know. I guess I wasn't. Sorry. I'm glad you said that, because I like that people can go check it out and
check
see.
it out.
that they can, especially this time of the year, see a couple different varieties and even see what the leaves look like, those differences.
One thing that'd be fun about that. So if you do that, make sure, because you have two different tastings. You taste the stuff around the tiny houses that's getting too much water, or a larger amount of water than the stuff that's, you know, that we're doing for the red wine. And so if you taste stuff around the house and then go deeper into the vineyard, you taste two different grapes and stuff. And one's for our rosé program, that's for our mainline stuff. So.
All right, Maria.
I feel it has a bunch of cranberry taste. I feel it would go really good with like a Thanksgiving holiday dinner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stuffing.
It's not really heavy, I think acidity wise.
Di, what do you think?
I do. I'm thinking about Thanksgiving and the stuffing that I make. It's perfect for that.
What kind of stuffing?
Just grandma's recipe, nothing fancy on it, but everything's
Grandma's recipe online, at least.
fantastic. Butter, onions, celery, sage, you know, throw it all together and dry your bread 2 days before and then break it up.
Grandma's
So yes, with cranberry. Ooh, I can taste it.
Sounds I'm very hungry, that's for sure. What do you think, Darren?
I really like this one. It's nice. It's kind of velvety tannins, lighter. It's a great first red wine of the night, I think. I think the toughest thing about this one is saying the name. You hear it pronounced so many different ways. It's like, is it Counoise? Counoise? What is it?
The only way I could remember to spell it was Counoise.
I'm with you on that.
Counoise.
How do you say it, Darren?
Counoise. I had this little French lady. I said Counoise, and she's wagging her finger at me. She's like, "You're not saying that right." I'm like, "Oh," and yeah, she said Counoise.
Counoise.
So I've been converted.
I like it.
Counoise.
What do you think, Nicole?
So this is the wine that I hoard for Thanksgiving. Like, this is the only wine I want to serve. We are a big red wine drinking family. We always do a fried turkey, a smoked turkey, a baked turkey. It's my husband's favorite holiday. It's always around his birthday. And his family had never heard of this until I started working here. And we had 3 bottles and they were gone in the first 15 minutes. The first
Yay, I love your family.
I hoard this one to go with it, but I also think this would go amazing with like a cedar grilled salmon. It's going to be still really nice and light for a nice oily fish. I wouldn't go so much like a halibut, but nice oily fish, this is a good red wine for.
Have you ever made a black cod?
I have a very, very long time ago, at the beginning of my culinary career back in Arizona, so probably like in 2005.
Yeah. Have you met?
One time.
I gotta have you up when the Littles are up here. David Little and Janet Little are partners. They bring a black cod in. It's amazing. So first time I watched them eat barbecuing it, and I kept telling them, "Look, that's gonna dry out. You cannot dry that fish out. There's so much oil in that. He barbecues it for a half hour at least, right?
Yeah, it was a long
It's
time.
crazy, and it is so tender. There's just so much oil in that. But I mean, like most of the fish and stuff, I actually order it medium rare at a restaurant because they'll bring it back.
You're so
dry.
worried that it's going to get overcooked, right?
I know, but boy,
You
that's
always should order a fish medium rare. People do not know that you can order fish medium rare, but you always should order a fish medium rare.
yeah. Well, good. I just did it because I'm honoring, but I think that, people don't. Yeah, I agree.
Melissa, what do you think of it?
This one is definitely probably one of my favorites. I know how hard it is to find a 100% or close to Counoise, and it is wonderful. This personally, I'll drink it on its own. I think I can just take the bottle and go. It's very jammy to me, and it is like it makes your tongue hairy, but in a good way. It is just so full. I don't know how else to describe it. Okay. It's just so full of flavor, full-bodied. It is. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Good job. Thank you.
I think that's kind of like the velvety thing, like that Theron was alluding to, maybe. And
Yes.
I get some like almost like a blueberry on it, right? You know how blueberries with
Yeah.
that skin texture, that's that kind of richness, and but that
Yeah.
has acid too. So
Right.
that I guess maybe that's the jammy to me. Like I understand what you're saying.
Jammy Harry.
Jammy and Harry
Yes.
is
Had Harry
delicious.
talk before.
I honestly want to say that for anyone who listens to these videos,
Sorry.
No. But honestly, when else do you get to taste with us while we're drinking and hear like the true stuff that comes out of that? I think it's a fun opportunity, because typically you're in the tasting room and we're behind the bar. We're not drinking. You are.
I am drinking.
Every Friday and Saturday in Prosser.
Okay.
Oh no, just kidding. Just kidding.
A COVID Friday, a COVID Saturday, right? New rules.
We're done with COVID. There's no more COVID. Just so you know.
Okay.
It's gone.
I'm not wearing my mask.
And last but not least, because you're with me, who wants to kick this one off? The Block 17. This is the 2018. So the other reds are 2017s, and of course the Marsanne is a 2019. But
This is my favorite one.
Me too.
yeah, mine too. Yeah.
Hands
I
down.
just, this is ready to, yeah. I enjoy this one a lot anyway, but it doesn't have to lay down much either. I'm ready for this one.
This is the Syrah Lee clone of Syrah. We have majority of our, I don't know how many acres, like 60 some acres of Syrah. And we have 3 acres of Syrah Lee clone. The rest is all Phelps. And it's really different because we have a 5-acre block. 3 acres of it is the Syrah Lee, 2 acres of it is Phelps. And we treat it all the same, but they ripen different. The Syrah Lee always takes a little bit longer to ripen. The pHs are a little bit lower and the acids are a little bit higher. And it's, but we, irrigation schematics, the same, the same, and we treat it the exact same. It's really odd to see the same varietal with just different strains, different clones, and they act so different. And but it's a lot of fun. In the acids levels, we actually a little bit higher on that, and I think you can kind of pick up a little bit of that. We will pick this a little later, so probably about a week behind the Phelps in the same block. We'll pick this a little bit later, and but it's always so fun to work with. We do blend back a little bit of the block 1 in this one. It kind of helps temper down some of that acid and stuff and the pH level a little bit. But it just, I love it. I think it does a great job. It's a great representation of Syrah. It's not jammy like, a lot of the Syrahs will get, or meaty. It's more floral and rich. So I really enjoy this one.
I was asking Theron before this is going on, because I remember last year thinking, why does the Viognier that you co-ferment, why does it make it darker? I would think it would lighten that up, but he explained.
I don't get it either. To me,
Yeah.
Part of the reason we have jet black is because Syrah is just dark. They say the anthocyanins are what actually worked with that Viognier skins and help it, or the Viognier skins work with the Syrah and help it get darker and darker. We've actually, or I've went to where we had the finished wines, it was Syrah, and it needed, the pH was so high it was more fleshy than I wanted it, and I went and I added back actually finished Viognier to it. So not just the skins. I actually earlier I'd fermented on the skins, but this time I added actually just the Viognier. It was more of an adjustment for the pH, but and it was kind of cool because it worked with the aromatics, but also just the mouthfeel. It just was able to balance it out, and a lot of fun. But I've only done that, I've only done that twice. So, but
Having 2% in this is crazy.
The good thing is they both kind of ripen at the same time, and so we're able to do that. The first time I did that, 2001, right? I had no idea why, other than that's what I heard you're
supposed to do.
No idea why, but and we've stuck with that a little bit, or since we started. But but with the Block 17, we've done Roussanne, we've done some Marsanne. Generally, Marsanne's a later ripener, so we can't always do that. But the Viognier and the Roussanne, those kind of come in at the same time, so we've been able to kind of play with that. We went up to 5% at one time, and generally, it's just I wouldn't be able to tell you that it definitely changes the color, but I'd tell you that it helps a little bit with the roundness and the richness, and Syrah isn't a real tannic wine anyways, but no, I think it's kind of fun too to co-ferment things.
Yeah.
And the French do it.
This is one that I love with some age on it. Like this one is fantastic. 3-4 years. I love this one a little older.
Yeah, I like it a little older too. But I would say that if
that's why you married me.
I would say that it's kind of wrong to be tasting it and not having a piece of red meat with it, because the food it totally changes it. I 100% drink it by itself, but the food, this is one of those wines that literally will just blow your mind if you taste it with the right food.
Isn't there someone on the team that is a major chef?
I know. What do you think, Nicole?
Yeah,
Nicole should be inviting us all.
Talking about this earlier, and I was saying our friends are avid hunters. They're also growers here in town, and he brought over a goose breast pastrami, and I was telling Darren, I was like, is that like a real thing? Because this would be so great, like with some kind of poultry breast. So I was thinking like a duck breast pastrami, or even just like a really hard seared duck breast with like a cherry sauce would be really great with this. But I'm thinking this is going to be perfect for like a duck, even a cured duck. This is what I'm serving with duck.
Wild duck or
he actually went and shot a goose. It was a goose. So he made this. It took him 5 days to make this pastrami, and it was amazing.
How do you cook that?
Well, so he cured it.
Oh, okay.
It was cured. So it was like pastrami. So he sliced it real thin, and his wife makes this amazing homemade French mustard that she served it with. And immediately when I tasted this, I was like, I wish they were here and had some of that pastrami, because it would be perfect.
Ooh, I have to try that.
You can find duck breast pastrami. Try it. It's amazing.
Yeah, no. I just meant your friends is.
Oh yeah. They are. I call them my culinary soulmates. They are not chefs, but they like the weird stuff that I like to make as well. So it's really nice to have them over.
Oh, that's awesome.
I bet.
What do you think, Melissa?
I was definitely with you. A steak, and I was thinking kind of like a Brussels sprouts and bacon salad would be delicious with this.
Everything but the Brussels sprout sounds great.
No, that's what I thought until I had it. And I'm not sure what else was added into it, but it was Brussels sprouts and bacon, and I literally wanted to eat everybody's dish.
Probably.
I'm like, I want that. It was so good.
Maria?
Well, I taste a lot of like the fig and like a little spice, but I would say with the Brussels sprouts, like wrapped Brussels sprouts with bacon, like a peppery bacon or something.
Yes.
That would be really, really, yeah.
All right. So what's everybody's favorite wine? I'll kind of start with you, Maria, since we finished with you. Which one of these is your favorite so far? Just so far. I mean, obviously it changes.
So I have to say I really love the Rockstar.
What's your favorite? All right, Nicole.
Frozen.
Okay, she is frozen. Melissa.
I'm torn. Counoise for reds and the Marsanne for the whites.
Yeah.
Can I do that?
Yes, you can. You definitely can. Theron.
Good job.
Right now, I think the Rockstar is tasting fantastic, but my pick would be Counoise. I think that's my favorite so far.
Yeah, because you can say it.
That was change.
Yeah. Okay, how about you, Di?
Well, I love the Rockstar. That was just the easiest tonight. But having the others lay down a bit, that block 17 to me is going to be fantastic. And just, I mean, drinking it now, the tannins and stuff, I love that. So, yeah, I would say both those.
Okay, how about you, honey?
Block 17.
Yeah? All right. I think I'm going to say the Carmenere, not just because I want no one to be left out, but also I do love it.
I got to get.
Okay,
Thank
you guys, thank you so much.
Harvest.
Thanks for joining us, and I hope that the rest of your 2020 is wonderful and that you have plenty of wine to get you through the holidays.